What's up guys, it's Widgeon TV here. Today I'm continuing my pursuit to compare things in Monster Hunter World that probably shouldn't be compared. We're doing Diablos versus Black Diablos. Now the winner to this one may seem obvious, but I implore you to stick around until the end. I've got some interesting stuff in this video. And one more thing before we get started, I recently hit 10,000 subscribers, and what can I say, it's been fun covering Monster Hunter. I still read every single one of your guys' comments, and really appreciate the support I've been getting on my videos. And I appreciate the constructive feedback that I'm getting on my videos also. Every day I'm trying to get better at covering this very complex game, so I hope everybody sticks around with me in the future. Alright, that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's jump into Diablos versus Black Diablos. Let's take a look at my methodology here. So to attempt to compare these two monsters, you need a very controlled environment. That is why I'm using the Diablos versus Black Diablos arena quest. This puts you into a completely controlled environment with these two monsters. So the plan was going into this was to let them fight to the death, and hopefully I could stay completely out of the way and not affect the fight at all. So I grabbed my lance and headed into battle. I had a few different ideas on how I was going to do this. First, I just tried to stay hidden, but apparently in the arena there are no blind spots, so they ended up attacking me. Second, I tried to run around the arena like a madman, attempting to avoid all of their attacks and stay out of their fight, but this ended up not working either, and they ended up not doing enough damage to each other in the 50 minutes to kill one of them. So that idea had to be scrapped, along with my idea to be cheeky and hide in this little tunnel right here. But when you do this, they end up not fighting at all. So I ended up having to do my backup plan of turtling in the corner with the lance. This ended up working better than I thought it would because it brought them together. And bringing them together means that they're going to be doing enough damage to each other for one of them to die. And speaking of one of them dying, monsters in Monster Hunter World do a lot of damage to each other, besides the damage that they do during the turf war, which we'll be talking about later in the video. But something interesting that I found during this was the fact that one monster cannot kill another monster. The player has to inflict the very last tick of damage. So basically, one Diablos can bring the other Diablos down to 1 health, but nothing beyond that. So in my testing, I ended up waiting about 20 minutes before I started periodically poking both of these monsters about every 5 minutes. I would do a standard spear thrust into one of their legs, just to see if they were ready to die. So that's how I did the testing. Let's take a look at my results. So I ended up recording 3 different fights. I only did 3 because each fight took about half an hour. So in the first fight, Diablos won the turf war, giving him a 1,000-point head start over Black Diablos. There ended up being 4 turf wars in this fight, with Diablos taking 2 and Black Diablos also taking 2. But when Diablos won the turf war, it would do 1,000 damage, and when Black Diablos won the turf war, it would do something like 940. A fairly small difference, but something to keep in mind. Nearly 40 minutes later, at the end of this fight, I ended up poking Diablos and he died, and I ended up poking Black Diablos and he didn't die. So therefore, Black Diablos won this fight, but I ended up continuing to attack him to find out how much health he had left, and to my surprise, he actually had very little health left. And because of the parameters of this test, that is well within the margin of error. So for all of these fights, I thought Black Diablos was going to win, but I ended up having to call it a tie because it was so close. But for fights 2 and 3, Diablos had a hard time. Between the 2 fights, Black Diablos ended up winning 5 of the 6 turf wars. That means that Black Diablos ended up winning these fights by far. It wasn't even close. So there you go, just as I thought Black Diablos was going to win this. But I got to thinking about the first fight. Obviously that one ended in a draw, which had me thinking whoever wins the turf wars wins the fight. So I ended up testing the probability of each of these monsters winning a turf war. So I tested it 10 times, and Black Diablos ended up winning 7 of the 10 times. That means in total, Black Diablos won 14 out of 20 turf wars. So that means Black Diablos being dominant over Diablos might not specifically be a higher health pool or more damage with his attacks, but because he wins more turf wars. So there's your victor, Black Diablos. I really hope everybody enjoyed the video. I have a ton of Monster Hunter content in the works, including more weapon comparisons, a 10K special that I think everybody will really like, and a few other projects that I'm working on, so I hope everybody sticks around. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and consider subscribing. It really helps out my channel. Also, consider following me on Twitter. It's the best place for me to keep in contact with you guys. But anyway, this has been Widgeon TV. Thanks for watching, guys.